Hi guys, my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. Thank you so much for gracing me with your presence here on my channel. I really appreciate that. Right now, I want us to talk about Ubaloyi. I want us to talk about Advocate George Baloyi, him being the NPA because he is the representative of the NPA. I want us to talk about that. And I want us to catch up when it comes to what happened last week at the court of the Senzo Mewa case, the courtroom at the Pretoria High Court. Guys, a lot happened there, right? A lot happened there. And this lot that happened there ended up exposing a lot of things, right? But before we get into doing that, guys, please make sure that you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end. Please make sure you are engaging. The likes, the sharing, the subscribing, the commenting helps this channel a lot in so many ways than you can realize. So please make sure that you are doing all of that. Engagement is key here. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about Ubaloyi. Ubaloyi, on so many levels and so many times, he has been exposed by Ubrigadier. We will talk about Ubrigadier in another separate video, but right now the focus is on Ubaloyi. He has been exposed, and this has led to a lot of things. Like, do you know when they say a can of worms has been opened? That was done by Ubrigadier Kininda because of his big mouth. We will talk about that in another video. But right now, what he has done, Ubrigadier Kininda, was to expose Advocate Baloyi. He has been exposed. There is no coming back from this. I don't care what they do with him being exposed, but we know now what kind of a man he is at work. We know now how he moves when it comes to his job. We know now due to the things that were exposed by Brigadier Kininda. While Brigadier Kininda was exposing Ubaloyi, perhaps trying to do whatever he was doing, we'll talk about those in his own video. Brigadier Kininda ended up jeopardizing USEPS, his own department that he works for, and then he ended up jeopardizing NPA, particularly Advocate Baloyi. And then he ended up exposing Judge Rata. The judiciary is also at jeopardy there because of his big mouth. Do you understand? So those are the things. And then that all together, when you bring it together, it becomes Department of Justice, right? So when we talk about the Department of Justice, you will have to mention those the judiciary, the police, and the NPA. You will have to mention all of that. Right now, where we are, a lot of things are so out there because now South Africans did not know. There are so many lessons that we have learned through the entire case of Senzo Meyiwa. It has helped a lot. Senzo Meyiwa from the grave, he is a man that speaks behind from the grave, guys. He's a man that leads from the grave. He was a captain of Bafana Bafana. He was a captain of Orlando Pirates and the goalie. But now he is busy captaining ngapha kwencwaba, guys, beyond the grave. Because tell me why all these years we've never learned anything. Some of us we knew about cases and stuff, but we did not care. But when it comes to this particular case, South Africans are invested. Even people outside the country who are not South Africans, they are invested. You should see when it comes 10 o'clock, there is about 1.5 people already waiting, 2,000 people already. When it goes to 10 past, they are already panicking. Where are they? What's happening? All of that. Because people are invested. Do you know why people are invested? Everybody wants to know and wants to see what is going to happen with this case. Because what is this? Everybody wants to know. There's very few. I promise you, it is a drop in the ocean. The people that believe that they are accused are guilty. It's a drop in the ocean. Most of the people in South Africa know and see what is happening in that courtroom. The entire case that they are busy with, it has exposed a lot of things about the judiciary, about that we didn't understand, whether it's bad or good. Yeah, we didn't understand as ordinary people. And then it also exposed a lot of things about the NPA, as much as NPA is being exposed in so many levels, in so many cases, because there is the Motoso case, there is the Phala Phala situation, there is the Zizi Kodwa situation. There's a lot of situations where there are so many questionable things, and we are like, did that just happen here? So there's a lot of learning. But this one, and then there is that asbestos case also. But this one, and there's a Bafana Mahungela case. But this one, because it's happening live and we are seeing things and we are following process of the proceeding and the processes that are involved in all things that are happening in a courtroom, then it makes us like be seated and be like, we are waiting. Because right now we are also waiting on a process that is going to fall through and the proceedings of the Thabo Bester saga, of the AKA also. We want to see, because the Senzo Meyiwa case has become an engineer on showing South Africans wake up, see things for what they are, and understand. But now, back to Ubaloyi. Back to Ubaloyi. Ubaloyi has been exposed. This case has shown us that in fact, at large, the DOJ can become a mockery. It can become a mockery. We are watching a miscarriage of justice. We are watching the unfair trial. We are watching an entire judge of 50 years experience behavior, doing the things. And we are watching a lot of things. Some people are saying there's corruption, and we're watching humiliation and the discrepancies that are happening in that courtroom live. We are watching that, and then we are watching. Remember, we used to ask ourselves, especially as ordinary people, we used to ask this question: why is Baloyi always from like the bottom? Because he was the prosecutor there in Boksburg. The case moved to High Court. He is there now. He's the one who's babysitting this. Why is it that way? Why is he moving everywhere? He moved from Joburg to Pretoria for this case. Why is that? Now, perhaps someone thought it was because he was the best. Well, after this past week now, he was not because he was the best, but because there's a lot of things that he was busy hiding. Why, when the case is still, the case is past what stage? The pre-trial stage, but Baloyi is still introducing new evidence and so forth, coming with new people, all of those things. Why is that happening? Do you understand? So there's a lot of things that are happening that are very questionable, and they are leaving him exposed. Now, after everything that happened the entire week, the question that one wants to know is, what's going to happen with Ubaloyi? Is he going to walk around as if these things were not heard by South Africans? What is NPA going to do about the things that were said in the courtroom? Are they going to probe into Baloyi? Are they going to investigate Baloyi? Are they going to do anything with Baloyi? Is he supposed to be still busy with the case? Isn't he supposed to be investigated or something? Something needs to happen, because there's a lot of things that were said by Ugininda. In fact, it started with that thing of prosecutorial driven investigation. That when Gininda kept on saying that, we should have known something is going on there. Something is going on there, we should have known. When Gininda said that, someone sent me something. Yes, the phrase, it was prosecutorial driven investigation, suggests that Baloyi was also an IO and should also take the stand to testify. You can't be a prosecutor and an investigator at the same time. There is conflict of interest. Someone sent me that. And I agree. Because why is that phrase, it was a prosecutorial driven investigation, kept being used by Ugininda? Why? So that made Baloyi to be exposed. That made Baloyi to be exposed because right now where we are, it's not looking good for him. It is not. He has been exposed. And the big question is, what is NPA going to do about this? What is Batoy going to do about this? Because you can't tell me that she doesn't know the things that are happening in Pretoria Court. And the other thing that needs to be taken into account, who was taking these decisions with Baloyi and what led them to take this decision? Why was case 636 chosen? Why? Like, honestly, why was case 636 chosen? We need to, and the country needs to be put at confidence. They need to put us at confidence. They need to make us understand. But there needs to be, in my view, actually, there needs to be an inquiry regarding this entire situation because we need to understand why did they choose this case, not 375? What gave, because now they are not doing the things that the indictment is saying something else. There are people here and the mastermind is not there, etc. There's a lot of things that are happening. So why did they not sign the J50 for Kelly Khumalo? Because Gininda was ready to do that. So why did the prosecutors not sign? Why was there no one willing to sign if there was no one who was willing to sign? Why did they bring these 5 into the courtroom but not Kelly Khumalo, who supposedly sent them? Why that did not happen? So a lot of those questions, they need to be asked. They are valid. Now, all of those things, they need, that inquiry is needed, and Baloyi needs to be the one that is being cross-examined. If they can't do it in this court, we need a, what that thing was, Zondo's thing. Yeah, whatever that was. Baloyi needs to appear somewhere and ask and answer questions about Gininda and the other 2 prosecutors that were working with Baloyi. And the other thing that needs to be answered is, why did the jurisdiction had to change? Why did they move the case of, why did they move the case of Vosloorus? Because both cases have been moved from Vosloorus to Pretoria High Court. Why are they there? They need to make it make sense. They need to explain all of that. Who came up with that idea and why they suggested that? What was the interest of justice? In the interest of justice, what was the interest of justice? For moving a case from Johannesburg to Gauteng to Pretoria. What was happening? So all of those things are things that need to be checked out, and they need to be found out as in like yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but I thought Baloyi cannot be going scot-free like that. He needs, particularly Baloyi, there could be many things that are happening at NPA, but when it comes to this one, we know which member of NPA that needs to be asked questions. It's Baloyi. He will bring others. What are your views when it comes to that? Let's talk in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.